What's up, guys and gals? My name is Joy, and today I'm going to be doing a review for Assassin's Creed Origins. So this was a game I was really hyped for. I was hyped for this game up until about 2 weeks before its launch, and then I realized that the hype train was coming to a complete and utter halt, at least for me, because I didn't want to be too excited for this game because of the simple fact that Ubisoft is the publisher. And sure enough, my low excitement bar paid off to an extent. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go into the flaws with the game, just to start with, so we can get those out of the way. My biggest flaws with this game are after the 10 to 20 hour mark. So when you start the game looks gorgeous. Obviously, you're going to be taken aback by the beauty of the game and, foaming from the mouth and jizzing your pants and all that other bullshit. But like any masterful painting, like the Mona Lisa, right? It gets old after staring at it for a couple minutes. And then you're going to want to look at a new painting, and then you're going to want to look at another painting and another one. The point I'm trying to make, guys, is after 10 to 20 hours of AC Origins, you realize that it's a typical Ubisoft Assassin's Creed game. Now, that's not entirely all bad. They don't overdo it so much to the point where I want to stab Ubisoft in the eye. And it's not the dev team's fault for this by any means. But there are indicators in the game that scream Ubisoft did this deliberately. Okay? So once you reach, I would say, level 25 to maybe 30-ish, the quickest way to level is by doing side quests. Now, that's not entirely bad. In fact, most of the game's main strengths are from its side content, its side quests. Some of the side quests are like Witcher 3 level good. And then other ones are like, oh my god, end it, please, it's so awful. Just skip, skip, skip. It's the same with the story. Some parts of the story campaign, the main missions, right? Some of them are great, and some of them are like, skip, skip, skip. The combat is like Dark Souls 3, or just Dark Souls in general. R1, light attack, R2, heavy attack. And it works. I actually like it. Some people didn't like the lock-on system with the camera, but once you get the hang of it, it starts flowing a little bit easier. At first, it's going to be really confusing because they have changed the combat in this game. It's not like the old AC games where you can just one-shot everything until you've upgraded your assassin. Now, those are some of the negatives and some of the positives to the game. Obviously ancient Egypt, again, a Mona Lisa, a nice-ass painting. But again, that's going to get old within 15 to 20 hours. Now, after you reach like level 25, 30, again, it's side content. It's going to be towers, and it's going to be fort spam. Oh my god, fort spam from Far Cry is back. Yes, it is. And it is so awful after the 100th time. It's not entirely overused in this game, like I said before. But it is to a point where I want to poke my fucking eyeballs out, okay? Legendary gear. Now, okay, so we're going to talk about mounts, gear, and stuff in the progression system. So the progression system starts off pretty good. It's pretty balanced. Late game, though, it's very grindy. Like, you have to do forts to get this specific resource or talk to the Xur-type vendor and buy the resource for like 3,000 drachmas. Some of the armor sets in the game that you win from, like the Coliseum matches, for example, they're the same armor set, just the shoulders are recolored. So, like, you might get red shoulders, then you might get the same set but with black shoulders, and then you might get the third set with blue shoulders. So there are some armors, be it on vendors or off of certain events in the game, that are just reskinned versions. Same with mounts. Some of the horses and camels in the game are the same camel, just like one's painted black, one's painted white, one's painted yellow, same shit. And it really breaks any excitement I have to get like a new mount or anything, unless you're willing to spend money on microtransactions. So there is a microtransaction store in the game And there's some pretty fucking cool outfits in the store, I'm not gonna lie. And they're not that expensive. However, it's just is scammy as shit, right? And I'm not saying Assassin's Creed hasn't had like items in its Ubisoft Club or Helix credits being sold, but in all the other games it was only Helix credits being sold. There wasn't like outfits being sold and Egyptian type outfits that you want and mounts. They have a unicorn mount, I think, and then they have legendary weapons you can get. But you guys get my point, is that they have purposely done this. They've taken away some of the content in the game that I would personally like in the game to give it a little bit more of a way to go grind for something. They've taken that away and they've put it behind a paywall. And I don't like that, right? I don't like that. Does that mean that I think I'm going to boycott the game and all that? No, I've played the game. I like the game. I don't think it's worth full price. I think it's worth maybe, I would say, 30, 45 bucks tops. It's not entirely bad for an open world game. It's just that a lot of these open world games suffer the same fate, right? Which is beat the story and then put the game down until DLC done. I want a single player game that makes me want to replay the game, that makes me want to go out and farm the game again. And not like start a new save and start over. I'm talking like that has impact, that has an end game type of ending. Like, so after the story, after all the side content, I still have some end game stuff to do, kind of like an MMO where I can repeat a quest every day or something. And they do have that with the Zerchild guy, but it only does so much, because like some days he'll have, like, one day he'll have a quest and the day after he won't have a quest and then the day after he will have a quest. And so it kind of works, but at the same time it only works so much before you're like, meh, like they need more to do for the person who's max level, like not Coliseum fights, but like I don't know, give us something. Maybe give us like PvP or whatever. We could test each other's skills against each other's assassins or something. Like, and it'd have to be in a boxed in arena where you can't leave, but it would still be something, because there's just no end game stuff. I thought I would never ask for PvP in an Assassin's Creed game, but like, give me some PvE content that's worth grinding for, that's worth getting the rewards at the end. And they're going to do that with Trials, but Trials doesn't come out until like November 11th. So by then, that's if anyone still gives a shit by then. Just all these games that have come out in recent memory launch with like the bare minimum of content. They launch with the passable amount of content, but they still launch with like the bare minimum. Like, so they launch with the passable, the fanboys not hating, seal of approval, and then they charge you for season passes, micros and all this other crap that it doesn't make me angry. It just makes me sad, because like I want to like AC Origins, but I can't do that unless I spend more money on the game. So the fuck, man. What else? I did read the season pass details, by the way. So both with the season pass, both DLCs won't come out till 2018. So if you've already bought the season pass or bought gold, you're an idiot and you should have just waited, because they're not coming out till 2018 to begin with. There are Coliseum matches in the game, but they act like Rise Son of Rome in a way. They play exactly the same. There's hunting, gathering, the typical open world stuff. This isn't new. But at the same time, once you've upgraded your character to a certain, peak limit, it doesn't really matter, because you're going to start doing fortresses 100 times over, synchro towers. And oh my god, it's making me want to fucking blow my head off already because of how repetitive it sounds. I really wanted AC Origins to be like the go-to game, and for a while it still will be. But with all that said, I don't think this iteration of AC Origins has, as of yet anyways, has taken Assassin's Creed into a new hope of another 10 years worth of games. Because right now, all it has going for it is the Mona Lisa, which is the fucking setting. The setting. That's all it has. That's all it's got. There are tombs in the game, like, there's all that, side shit. But the only reason this game is getting, I think, worthy praises is because of the setting. But if you can overlook the setting, which you will at level 30, you're going to realize it's just a hollow, typical Assassin's Creed / Ubisoft game. And that's what it is. My rating and my score for Assassin's Creed Origins is 5 out of 10. It's a good game. It's not Shadow of War good. I still like Shadow of War, by the way. And even though that game has micros, that game has flavor with the orcs. The orcs are they're interacting with me. The world is interacting with me. Like, AC Origins, the only people that interact with you are the fucking side quest characters that half the side quests, man, are just, some of them are really bad and some of them are really good. But the ones that are bad, you just want it to end quicker than it began. And that's a problem. So hopefully with updates and DLC, they can fix a lot of these problems, give us, players that are max rank something to go for and strive for to keep us playing. But until that happens, I would just wait for a sale. At least $45 tops, maybe even 30, 35 if you can get it for lower than what I suggested. It's not a bad game, guys, but it is at its core a typical Ubisoft title. And I think that's what hurts it the most, is the fact that you can tell Ubisoft got involved in some of the development and got its hands in that dirty cookie jar and started playing around with the fucking cookies rather than just take one and be happy. And that's what I think happened. I think Ubisoft interjected their ideas into Origins, and it's personally made it more of a nightmare and unfun experience than originally thought. So, with that said, though, guys, my name is Enjoy. Have a good one. 5 out of 10 for me here. And I'll see you all next time.